Next we have Peter Godforsaken Matthews. That was purely for the amusement of Bullfmills.
Wouldn't expect anything less from you, man.
I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't know whether you guys are trying to make me cry or masturbate.
Both.
I just...
Yeah.
So, I have to be honest, I can't do this with a straight face anymore. Well, I was going to give you some comedy. I was going to tell you about this time I was on a tram about a month ago, and about 30 tween girls, they were about 12 years old, came on wearing purple. I found out they were Justin Bieber fans. I'm not sure what the connection is, but no, not that. I would have, believe me, if he was gay, I'd know by now. I'm kidding. He barely has grass on the field, the fucking little. So, and I was going to tell you about how all their parents had just let them get on this tram and, alone, unsupervised, because, well, 30 little girls can pick out any man and roll the motherfucker. So, without that out of the way, I can tell you something a little bit deeper. I was going to give you nothing but comedy poems, but, a lot happened this week. I had a bit of an existential crisis. And instead, I wrote you a poem about PTSD. You're welcome. Actually, I wrote this a few weeks ago. I just wasn't in the comedy kind of mood. But I was going to tell you something else, but I guess it's not important.
No, was it the masturbating thing?
No, I backstage after the show. I guess I decided to tell you, they're never going to catch me. My head hissed, hand over the money. An imaginary shadow touched my hair. I sat alone, the deep, thought-out world inside my scalp and eye. Night silenced the city, ducks weaved between reeds, and only I watched the pond. I told him, I spent it all on smokes. You want to smoke? Instinct planned my escape, my breath raced. I could pivot and bash his throat, or ask him why he needed money, and keep him talking. The ducks splashed. Alone, I watched them. The imagination villains snatched my grocery bag and bolted from my mind, wearing my things. I breathed slow, drugged in post-mugging peace. The real me wore my things, held my groceries. I threw out the cigarettes, currency for empty mouths that I'd exchanged with tomorrow's food. The rosemary, since I can find bushes. Tossed my rings to the ducks, since I only polished the silver on my tongue. My father's coat, because I still remember him. I shivered and took the coat back. Promised never to glimpse the gold in my thick jewellery box while the sun visited every day. I'd box the day behind thick curtains my parents bought. I burned the curtains. Realised I hadn't spoken to Mother in a week. She thanked me for the call. The curtains, tied to the stake, made no sound. They can't get me. I lounged under shop fronts, since they worked better than my ceiling. My father's worn-out cap touched the sunlight beside my feet. A man in business black told me to get a life. I didn't realise he was playing a video game, but I one-upped him. I told him to drop his stern controller and see the real world. No pixels, no cubicles. Floating gold coins wouldn't buy him cigarettes. On the concrete, I found a ginger-haired girl with shortcake skin, dressed in velvet cream. At the dinner table, her dad asked, "Be honest, son. I know I let my daughter go out with a scruffy lowlife. Are you known to police?" We've chatted. What about? They asked, "Had anything to drink tonight?" Count to 5, take a breath, forget your trouble, remember your name, and call it the blue broad-shouldered obelisks. You never conquer a man, no matter how sky blue your uniform, only the dirt until it outgrows you. Thank you, sir, you can go. Then the sky bowed. I flung myself away 100 kilometers per moment into the concrete where I found your daughter and complimented her on those bare, unmanacled wrists. They'll never catch me. Thanks for having me.